Hi kids, I'm back. I've been thinking about what I wanted to share with you. The first story that was meant for my girlfriend in California, I recorded an incident that was not an incident, but something that took place at the eye doctor's office. It was pretty funny, but I posted it up on my YouTube channel and then mailed her the link. Therefore, it's it's there for anybody to look at. And lo and behold, I'm telling you, it's really strange. I have over 12,000 views on that. Blows me away. So I recorded another one. That one's almost at 1,000, and that one's just been up there like a week. And then one for my cat, video of my cat. In 24 hours, I got 114 views. Just in 24 hours. It's up over 500 now. So anyway, thinking about what I wanted to talk about today. Once you get to know me just a little bit, so you just don't think I'm a crazy old lady with blue hair, which I am. Crazy old cat lady with blue hair. Anyway, I thought I'd go back to my childhood days, which were absolutely horrendous. I had a very, very cruel, abusive mother. She hated my father. She didn't want to be married, but she's Catholic, and she just said, I can't get a divorce. So when you have somebody that hates your husband and me, your daughter, she told me to my face. This is not me just thinking, oh, she must hate me. This was to my face. And I said, you never did tell me why you hated me so much. And she said, because you wouldn't listen to me. No matter what I told you to do, you didn't do it. You made me hit you. I did? Okay. Her biggest beef with me was when she'd say something, I'd say, oh, really? Why? Why do you have to ask why? Why? That's all you do is say, why? Truly, she did not like me at all. And all you had to do was go like this, and you were sliding down a wall. That's what I did. Slid down the wall. She made me go out frequently and get a long switch off the weeping willow tree. How apropos, weeping. So naturally I'd find a real small one, and she'd send me back out for a bigger one. Okay, come back in the house. I'm told to take my pants down and lay on the floor, and she proceeds to whip me with it. Well, there I was with my chin in the carpeting, and I was just absolutely taking my mind somewhere else. I just let her have at it. I did not cry. I said, I will not cry. That's going to piss her off more than anything. And she got more and more brutal, and I still wouldn't cry. Then when my dad got home, she'd go after him and say, why do I have to do all the disciplining around here? She was a brat today. She did this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I whipped her ass, and she's this and she's that. I want you to go out there now, and you whip her ass with your belt. And he would say, you just told me you already whipped her. I was at work all day. I'm coming home. You've already disciplined her. I am not going to take my belt off and go whip her. You already did that. And about the fourth time he told her that, this is true. This is how wicked she is. Because he wouldn't whip me after she did, she packed a suitcase and she said, you go over to your mother's. You go over to your mother's. I don't want you here. So she threw him out of the house. And needless to say, that was my fault too, because I wouldn't cry. So fast forward, I got married at 19, moved from Michigan to Florida on my wedding day because my husband-to-be had come to Florida already, got established with a job and an apartment and all that kind of stuff, then flew back for the wedding. So the day we got married, we were taken to Detroit Metro, and his twin brother was driving, and he got us lost, so we missed our flight. We had to go standby. And it took 30 hours to get from Detroit Metro to Atlanta. Then we had to wait another 6 hours to go standby from Atlanta to West Palm Beach, Florida. Not fun, but my whole goal really was, quite honestly, to get the hell out of my parents' house. Not saying bad things about my dad, other than he should have intervened, learned that in therapy. He should have intervened and told her to knock it off. But he didn't. He just was like, all right, you do the discipline. So, got married. A year later, had my son, who later passed away at age 39. He was diabetic since age 3 that he was actually diagnosed. He was in a coma in the hospital. So he died at age 39, and I'm okay. I'm at peace with it because of these spiritual orbs that are with me always. I can always tell which one is him, and I know I sound like a really crazy old lady now, but if you experience it yourself, you feel the same way, trust me. So, later in life, we were married 4 years, but I threw him out at 3 years, made him go get his own place, and then I took on a paying roommate, to make sure I could pay for the duplex and whatnot. And over a year later, the roommate and I, David, we had feelings for each other. We had never done anything. We hadn't even kissed or held hands, but you could just feel it, you know. And the very first thing we did was touch hands and hold hands, and like that was it. It was like way long before we even kissed each other. Anyway, that worked out really well. He was really great with my son, because he had a son the same exact age who was living in Virginia, where he came from. He was living with his mother. And things just developed, and long story short, we were married for 18 years. We were selling our house to move to Jacksonville, Florida from West Palm Beach area, and he went ahead and established himself in the job where I sold the house. He would come home every other weekend, and every other weekend I would drive there. So, all of a sudden it started that he just didn't want anything to do with me. He didn't want to make love or nothing. He would just say, I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. So I'd be like, all right, you're tired. And this went on a really long time. I mean, like 3 friggin' years I put up with that. We went to counseling 3 different times, and all he would say in counseling was, she doesn't do anything I don't like. I love her. That was it. No complaints. I said, oh, you don't have any complaints, doll? Then what can you tell me about not wanting to make love to me? Can you explain that? He said, no, I just am tired. You know, I'm really tired and whipped out. I'm like, no, it's more than that. Turned out, while he was there ahead of me, he met a woman who was also from Virginia. They really hit it off there at the hospital where he was working as a biomedical engineer, department head. And he, in his mind, did not want to make love to me because he felt in his mind and heart he'd be cheating on her, and he fell in love with her. So, needless to say, we ended up getting divorced. But while we were married, I got very super depressed. And, let me tell you one other thing in my childhood, from all the whippings I got and everything. Right before we were going to go on vacation to Florida, I was really excited. I was in my bedroom, the door was closed, the lamp was on, and I was reading a magazine. And my mother came in there, and she just leveled me, turned my lamp off, and told me, keep your little ass in this goddamn bed, and slammed the door. She was gone probably over an hour, and I thought, okay, I'm still wide awake, it's safe. I turned the light back on and picked the magazine back up. She must have been laying in wait, because as soon as that lamp went on, she was in there, and she got me good. She got me good. Not only did she whip me with the belt, she took her hand and she slapped my face, because I said, it doesn't really matter if I don't sleep tonight because there's no air conditioning in the car. We're going to Florida. I'm going to be sleeping in the car. I'm not making any noise. I'm not bothering anybody. And I wasn't. She didn't care. I didn't do what she told me to do, so she slapped my face. Later on, when everybody was up, I walked into the kitchen. My dad did a double take, and he said, "What the hell happened to her face?" And I didn't even know what he was talking about because I hadn't looked in the mirror or anything. And she said she was a goddamn little brat staying up all goddamn night, keeping me awake when I have all this stuff to do, making all our lunches and everything. No, she deserved what she got. And she talked back to me, and that's why I slapped her face. He said, "Well, you really slapped her hard because I could see her whole handprint on her face." And I was like, "What?" So I left and went in the bathroom and looked, and sure enough, perfect outline, whole hand red on my face. And I had to go on vacation like that. And I had people come up to me and ask me what was wrong with my face and how did that happen. And I was so brainwashed. I just was thinking, people are thinking I'm like the world's worst child, that I forced my mother to do that to me. I didn't think they'd think she was bad. I really didn't. They did, now that I'm an adult. They did. They were like all about child abuse and wanted to know who hit my face. I wouldn't even answer. I'd just go away from them, like in the pool. Anyway, things were not going so well, and I decided I wanted to get some counseling. And I knew I was depressed, and I was taking this particular medication that didn't work very well. So I called and I made an appointment with a psychiatrist at the same hospital that my husband worked at. And I said, "I got to get to the bottom of this. I can't live like this." Spent 2 weeks in bed with the covers over my head. Didn't want to speak to anybody. Would stay up all night watching TV, and when everybody was starting to get up, the TV went off, and I pulled the covers up, and I would go to sleep and sleep all day. I knew that was not right. But I'm going to stop right there because I will be doing a part 2, starting with what the psychiatrist had to tell me. And I'll tell you what I told the psychiatrist here in Michigan. Okay? So stay tuned. It gets better. It really does. I just want you to get to know me a little bit and where I've been and even why I'm doing this. Okay? All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Oh, the sun, the sun. Bye.